Why, hello everybody. Welcome back to Peggy's channel takeover, where I take over my wife's channel to do a reading for the collective. And this being October, I'm doing a month ahead reading from the Trick or Treat Tarot using the Trick or Treaters guidebook. And we're just going to get right to it. So, what's going on for you this month? Where does your energy focus, and where does everything have to be for you? Let me just pick up this mess. And let's get right to it. Okay. So, Ten of Wands. That's pretty obvious. Ten of Wands. Okay. Ten of Wands to me almost always and immediately becomes doing too much, taking on too much, doing everything while the people around you do nothing to help. See those guys over there? So that's where I'm seeing that card. I'm seeing that this is your focus for the month, is overdoing it. Overdoing it, and it's not overdoing it because you partied too much. They're partying. You're the one who put the party together, and you're so busy working the party that you can't enjoy the party. Does that make sense? This is what you've got going on. So this is what, and it's not just about a party. I know Halloween is coming up, but this is about a lot of other things. So what you're looking at, what your focus this month should be on, is how you take on too much, and probably when you don't even need to. What's mitigating that? What is affecting that? What is impacting that? What's causing that? And now this is okay, this is pretty obvious to me. Now the Wheel of Fortune is sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, right? The red candy or the blue candy. Look at this Morpheus type character. Do you want to get to the bottom of what's going on, or do you want to keep your head in the sand and just keep to the status quo? Now the reason why I think that this is there is because when you're looking at the Wheel of Fortune, usually there is literally a wheel. And your position on that wheel is constantly changing. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. So what I'm seeing here is that you're taking on a lot. You're taking on a shit ton, but you also feel like if you don't, that any good fortune that you have is going to go away. You're going to be onto the other side of that wheel, heading back down again. Kind of like, if I don't do it, nobody will. Okay. And that's something that's really impacting your ability to just stand up for yourself, to say no. It's not about trust or lack of trust, or maybe it will be. We're going to pull a few more cards and see if that does pop up as something that we need to think about. Right now, right this minute, you are taking on way too much and don't forget, as a reading for the collective, it's up to you to look inwardly and go, is this in some areas of my life, one area of my life, all areas of my life? It's up to you to decide how big or small this is. But I will say that it's important. It's important, even if it's just in one small area of your life that you're taking on too much. It's something that you need to be aware of. And one of the reasons why you're doing this is because of the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is about being generous, being giving. Here you are giving, right? You are by nature a generous person. And unfortunately for you, your generosity has evolved into not just being giving, but giving too much of your resources, of your time, of your energy, of yourself. And again, reading for the collective, this could be some, most, or all. And it's up to you to decide. It's up to you to think about that. I don't need to remind you how readings for the collective work, but I just like to remind people of stuff. Now, I don't necessarily, for me, when I'm doing a reading like this, these aren't necessarily opposing or complementary. If you look at it this way, where everything's a triangle, it's all connected, right? So you're taking on way too much, and these are the two main factors that are impacting how and why you're doing that. Okay. And now the interesting thing is, neither one of these cards are talking about necessity. You like to be generous. You're concerned that things won't go as well, as smoothly, as easily if you don't. But you're not seeing catastrophic cards like the Ten of Wands, the Tower. You're not seeing, I mean, the Ten of Swords, the Tower. You're not seeing those cards. So this is possibly a monster of your own making, where you've just started volunteering more and more and more of yourself to make sure stuff gets done. And maybe and like I said, I think it's because of a sense of generosity on your part. You're just a generous person. But now it's time for you to say, okay, I'm being too generous. This is causing me problems. And let us just see what's going to mitigate that. So this is about being afraid that things are good, and if you do anything about this, if you stop taking on so much, things won't be so good. Well, this is a Four of Wands. Things are going to be good. Everything's still going to happen. The Four of Wands, let me just double check with the book. I always have the book handy. I don't always use it. I don't always need it. Who are we kidding? I always need it for at least some of the cards. That's okay. There is nothing like a good Halloween party, no matter how old or young you are. Fun can be had at every step, from the planning to the decorating to the actual event, and that's what it's all about. Enjoying the atmosphere and, of course, each other's company. Okay, so this is any sort of a party, celebration, holiday, wedding, birthday, etc. That's the keywords for this one. And the card is upright, so we're doing good so far because everything's upright. So your this is a fear. This is a fear that your position on the wheel will suddenly become negative if you don't continue to take on all the work. And this is kind of, to me, reassuring you that the party's going to happen. The party is going to happen, but this card here, you fear that it won't. Because don't forget, it says any sort of party or celebration. Well, usually when there's a party or celebration, it's not just one person planning it all. There's other people involved in it. And of course, you got the kids, everybody's decorating, everybody's having a good time. You are kind of getting in the way of your own good time by letting your fear of where your position on the wheel of fortune is or may become. You're letting your fear of what might happen here get in the way of you being reassured that this is okay. You will reach this goal. You don't have to be the one doing it all. At least that's how I see it, okay? Now the next one we're looking at is the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is reversed. Another card to look up. Yay! Ten of Swords. Page of Swords. Knight of Swords. There we go. So the Knight of Swords is sneaky, sneaky, and what a clever entrance. Of course, they're in a pickle with those candles on the mantle. They gotta try and get past these. All it will take is one graceful leap, and with just the right amount of lift, they'll float down as subtle and graceful as a real ninja. And of course, don't forget, this has got more here. I'm just not reading the entire thing. Okay, so this is reversed. So when this card is reversed, it is dogmatic, rigid, intolerant, no plan, manipulative. So you're taking on way too much. Now, this is interesting because they both connect, right? Both of these cards are being impacted by this card. This card is about being intolerant and rigid. You have a very particular way that you like to see things done. You feel like maybe you've been burned in the past. Like maybe the last time you decided, maybe the last time you said, no, you can do it. Maybe this was used against you. But why? I thought you were a decent person. God, you must suck. Well, okay, fine, but I'm not going to do it right. I mean, but you've got, okay, in its simplest form, you've got a track record here of the minute you try to do anything about this is used against you and it doesn't go well. That's something that you've experienced before. So I think this does go back to this card being your fear that this isn't, whether or not this is going to happen is irrelevant. Your fear of it, you're pretty much convinced. There's no way that we can get to the Four of Wands over here because it'll always go bad. It always goes bad. And then let's take a look at the last Seven of Cups. Now the Seven of Cups. Now the Seven of Cups is usually about indecision and having enough choices. Yeah, pick your upright. It says pick your poison, and she's not sure which one to pick. This is in reverse. I think I know where this is going, but let's just look it up. Seven of Cups. There it is. Okay, when trick-or-treating, you don't get a choice of candy, at least not most of the time. However, if you are lucky enough to pick your poison, the choice is yours. In true in true Halloween traditions, tricks abound. Can you know for sure that the cup holds what it says it contains? So reversed, this is now in upright. This is about being not sure what to do. Now reversed, it's fears, daydreams, interfering with responsibilities, and escapism. You're stuck in an escapism thing. Like, I'm being so generous, they should be acting like this. I'm doing all of this. You're so stuck in what you think that how you think they should be reacting that you're kind of turning a blind eye to how they are reacting, how they are behaving and responding to this. So your generosity has turned into, see, I'm being generous, so they're grateful, they're this, they're that. It's about, daydreams and escaping from the reality. So you're kind of, what you've done is you've kind of pulled these off to the side. It's like, no, 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 I'm generous and this is awesome. And you're not realizing that, yes, you're generous, but you take on too much. So this card here tends to have the most power in how you can, because it's connected to both of them, right? This is only connected once. This is only connected once. This being connected to both of them, and it is about dogmatic. Okay, these are the keywords. I'm going to repeat them again. Dogmatic, rigid, intolerant, no plan, manipulative, con. So you are, and this here is like rigid thinking. This is just kind of, you're concerned that your good time is going to get ruined if you don't do all the work, but you're not paying attention to the fact that you're not really having a good time. You're having a good time in relation to the amount of work that you're doing, but you're not enjoying yourself the same way the people around you are because you're taking on way too much. So you've kind of, was it red pilled yourself or is it blue pilled? I forget which pill was which in the movie. So anyway, what you've got going on here is anything you've tried things in the past to get people. You're taking on a lot because other people aren't taking on enough. You've tried. Okay, let me go through this list again. You've tried being dogmatic, being rigid, being intolerant. Why aren't you doing your fair share? You've tried just going, fine, I'm not gonna organize this either. You've tried manipulating. You've tried it. Okay, whether or not you've tried it all, you certainly feel like you've tried it all. I do sense that this is a very persistent and ongoing frustration for you, and you're just not sure how to get out of it. And these are your bad habits that are keeping you in it. These are your bad habits that are keeping you in it, and this is basically your defeatism. I only get them to do this if I get angry, if I con them, if I manipulate them, if I bribe them, and this is not working for you. So let us get four more quick cards. What do you need to do? Let's just bring this out here. Now, this is kind of a free form reading. This is not any particular reading that has a name or anything that I do. This is just where intuition takes me when I'm doing this kind of reading. I start with that, then I find out what mitigates it, and then I find out what is impacting these factors, and then usually based around the center card. I don't know why I'm shuffling again. I don't need to, but I'm gonna anyway. I will take a couple of cards. So Page of Swords in reversed and Five of Pentacles in reverse. Now this is interesting. So what you need to be doing about it? What is going to get you through this? And what we are looking at right now, let's go over to those swords. Let's turn the book upside right because I was holding it upside down and then trying to read. That was not the smartest thing I did today. Okay. So we've got the Page of Swords and it's reversed. Now the Page of Swords, no, I don't need your help. I can totally swing the sword. Yeah, someone bit off more than they could chew. So you've bit off more. Okay, and we're still obviously this theme has not let go yet. You've bit off more than you could chew. So reversed, this is being a know-it-all, clever but cruel humor, show off, gossip. This is something. This is what's keeping you here. Okay, what's keeping you here is this idea that if you aren't the one to do it, it's not going to get done. It's really that simple. Ten of Swords is about you taking everything on. Knight of Swords is about you having had experience with trying to get the people around you to take on their fair share and not succeeding. And now you're just and show off, gossip. You're getting angry about this, and you have a right to be angry. Don't get me wrong. You have a right to be upset that this is the way it's going. But you are in a position right now where you've kind of come full circle and your thinking is like, well, it doesn't really matter because nobody else but me knows how to do it right anyway. Because that's kind of the sour grapes thing that gets in the way. So you've got to flip this around. Um, and this is young, inexperienced, smart, clever, lover of words. This is about saying, I'm taking on too much and I need more from you guys. This is about basically holding the people around you to a higher standard without judgment, without you got to let the past in the past and move forward and maybe stop. It doesn't matter if you do know it all. It doesn't matter. It's like, well, taking a break from this one. I know you're smart enough to figure it out and just walking away. If the party falls apart, it's not your problem because it was never your responsibility to do it by yourself in the first place. Now, the next one is the Five of Pentacles, which I already found on the way through. Now, Five of Pentacles, how lucky are these kids that they have a potentially haunted house in their neighborhood, perfect for Halloween shenanigans. But they don't really look lucky, do they? It's no fun to wear snowsuits over costume, which is what happens in the northern in Canada especially. It's no fun to wear snowsuits over costumes or to have snow on Halloween, and those sacks look sadly empty. Possibly treats are so close and yet so far. This is reversed. Neglecting yourself or your finances, relying on charity unnecessarily, taking advantage of others. Now, obviously, you're looking at the Ten of Wands here. You are you are the one being taken advantage of, but this is the full circle. By telling other people to take on their fair share, you feel like you're taking advantage. Oh, I've always done it. I've always done it. Why should I make somebody else do more than what they are comfortable doing? Well, because you're burning out. You're becoming your own worst enemy. But feeling like you're taking advantage by asking them to take on some of the burden is definitely, and even though the cards aren't connected, it definitely does reach back to this energy of being generous. Maybe here we go. Let's see if they do connect. So I've got that, I've got that, I've got that, I've got that. That connects there. Well, where did that connect? There, look at that. It does connect. It does connect. So now obviously this does connect to if you want it to connect. If you want it to connect. Sometimes I do find myself slightly shifting around the cards just to get a visual representation of the nuance that I'm seeing. So what I'm seeing here is that these two things are both impacting this. And, look at this. Look at how this is connecting. Well, nobody puts on a party like I do. Well, because you overdo it and take on too much of the work. So this needs to change, that needs to change. But yeah, this does have a link back to not sure what, just I'm super generous and that's fine. That's the way I like being. And you're neglecting yourself or you're relying, now it says relying on charity unnecessarily. Now, I have an interesting thought, and I don't know if this applies, so you're gonna have to think about it for yourself. But relying on charity, if you're taking it all on, and not if you're taking it all on, then what you are relying on is other people noticing and offering to help, rather than just recognizing that these people should be expected to help. Um, Now, when the Five of Pentacles is upright, usually it's about people in need, going past someplace where they can get the help that they need and not recognizing that that's there. And you can kind of see that they're like they're standing outside. The lights are on. There's somebody there. They've just got to go to the door, knock, ask. The door looks like it may even be slightly starting to open. It's there. They can get their bags full of candy if they just go to the door. They're convinced that they're not going to get the help they need. This in reverse, relying on charity. And again, you're not relying on charity to get you through your day. You're relying on people feeling charitable towards you and being willing to help you, even though you're in a situation where you have every right to expect it. Because you've created this situation for yourself where the people around you in this situation don't even think about it anymore. Well, if they wanted to help, they'd help because I'm a generous person. I won't ask for help. Um, but yeah, neglecting yourself and your finances is also part of it. It's like if you're doing all the work, who bought those sticks, right? Who put gas in the car to go get them? Who paid for them once they got there? So you are stretched thin, and it is time to speak up. It's time to recognize that somebody helping you is not charity. Somebody helping you is not charity, especially when it's a mutual task. If you need to paint the house and everybody that lives in that house with you goes, "Okay, well, we'll be back when it's done. Just send me a text." That's not them. That's not you being generous. That's them taking advantage. It is not charity if they choose to stay and help you. Or rather, okay, if you only accept their help because they think of it, they offer it because it's charity, instead of saying, dude, I'm painting the house. Where do you think you're going? You need to go pick up some of that paint for me. Like, you know what I mean? I think you guys know what I mean. This is a pretty big spanking for you guys. October's an interesting month too, though, because we're going into the darkness, going into the darker time of the year, going into the winter, and that is usually where the shadow work starts popping up. So this is your first piece of shadow work for the year. Maybe that's what I'll title the video. Your first piece of shadow work for the year. And like I said, on an interpersonal level, it's up to you to decide just how serious this is or isn't in your world, but it's there. It's there. And like I said, you're taking on too much. You really are concerned about what the consequences are going to be. The consequences are going to be impacting your good time too. And what you've done in the past to try and get other people on board with taking on their fair share of the workload or the financial burden or whatever struggle it is that you're having, your previous efforts have not worked. It is time to just sit down, speak up, be blunt. Let's get one more card in here. Six of Pentacles. One more card. What do you got to do about this? So it's upright. Asking for help. Look, right there, right there, right there, right there. Asking for help. Charity, fairness. See, charity. Now this is charity. This is charity. Now that's interesting, right? So when you're waiting for somebody to help you and feel like you're relying on charity, that can feel very, very. I can do this myself. I don't need their help. So if they help, then it's charity. If I ask, I'm asking for charity because I can do it myself. But charity is exactly what you need. Fairness, gift, donation, loan, sharing the wealth, asking for help. You see what's going on here, right? This is interesting that this card came up. You see what's going on here, right? The werewolf has decided that the kid in street clothes doesn't get any candy. Them's the rules. No costume, no candy. The leopard knows this. The werewolf knows this. Probably the poor kid knows it too, but thought he'd try anyhow to see if there is such a thing as Halloween mercy. At this house, nope, they are fresh out. So this is the thing. The people around you know. They know. They know that you're doing more than your fair share and they're happy with this situation. You're not happy with this situation and you need to give up all of those negative things that keep you from doing something about it, but just start saying no. Start saying no. This kid gets no candy because he doesn't deserve it. You don't People that do nothing to contribute do not deserve. Go buy the book The Little Red Hen. It's a nursery rhyme. It talks about it beautifully. So, that's what you need to do about it. Just start saying no. Hey, I need you to do this. Nope, I'm too busy. And don't forget, no is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. Well, why can't you do that? Because I'm busy. Well, why are you busy? I'm busy. I'm not sure why maybe if you'd stop at the time you're taking to continue asking me about that is time you could have taken to go and do it yourself. Why are you bothering me? You don't have to be, well, maybe you do have to be a little bit mean. But anyway, that's where you are right now. That's what's going on in your world right now. And you have you're overworking yourself over something. This is your shadow. This is your shadow to deal with this month. To at least start recognizing this. This really doesn't have a lot of here's what to do about it. So maybe this is the contemplate thing stage for you so that you can be better prepared to start saying no when the time comes. Don't forget, not every problem has to be solved today, and it doesn't have to be solved with a sledgehammer. So keep that in mind. But this is what you're being called to examine about your life this month. Anyway, I could keep going and pull the whole deck out, but I think we've kind of beat you guys up enough. I'm going to get going. You guys have a great day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things. Lisa has amazing content up, and I'm still going to be showing up here once in a while with these readings as well. And if you want to see more of my readings, you can go over and check out my channel, Peggy Does Tarot. And I'm putting up whatever makes sense, whatever feels like fun. Lots of different readings, lots of different kinds of readings, lots of one card pulls so I can get practice. It's more of a practice exercise for me that I happen to be filming. So head over there if you think you're going to like that one and check that one out. In the meantime, I'm going to let you go. You guys have a great day and I will see you in the next one. Bye.